Hi, I'm here with the beautiful and very talented artist, Michelle Molinari. She is here from Melbourne, Australia. She specializes in traditional European oil painting techniques, taxidermy, and sculptural installations. Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about your practice and your time here at the residency.
Yeah, well, no worries. Well, my practice is conceptually concerned with investigating and exploring the idea of death in the natural world and investigating a visual language that creates a dialogue about this. And my practice normally evolves around creating taxidermy installations and I learned how to do taxidermy as a sculptural medium to create a dialogue about this with its physical presence. And what I do then is I create sculptural installations or also use it as a subject matter, which I do observational painting from. And for this residency though, I felt when I put in my proposal, I wanted to keep an open objective. So I didn't come with any preconceived notions of what to expect or what I wanted to do. So I wanted to kind of search the area, leave it very open and see what ideas came to me. And if that didn't evolve around my normal practice, then that was fine. It would be interesting.
So do you want to discuss that a little bit more about how your stay here, the residency has impacted your work now?
Well, the residency, when I got here, I explored the environment, I went for a walk and I came across these squashed toads on the road, and I felt their form and their presence was so intriguing. It was blatantly obvious how they died, and I just thought they were kind of beautiful in the way that they were preserved and still very intact. And originally I thought, oh, that's very cool, and I photographed it and then went back to the studio and just started thinking like maybe I'll do some portraiture and investigating something different, because likewise I'm interested in the figure as well and from observation. So that was something that I wanted to explore a little bit simultaneously, but the idea of the toads stayed with me, and I had to go back, and I actually retrieved the toad and brought it into this studio, and using the very dark tonal lighting, which automatically I was drawn to, I created from observation a still life of the toad, contrast against the rocky background of the wall interior. And this kind of evolved. It was very interesting in how I was able to engage with it, so I thought I want to do more. And then I went for another walk and I found more toads. So it continued, and then from this I created a sculptural replica of the toad in plaster. So that's going to be an ongoing thing that I can work with when I go home to become a sculptural installation from there.
Yeah, it's wonderful how that dovetailed perfectly with the work that you've been doing, and it took you in this new path that was still very much your path.
Yeah, exactly. That was very unexpected as well, because as I said, it was very open, and then to come across this.
Yeah, it's very neat.
It was, very much so.
Very neat. So your work in general does revolve around the observation of the natural world. So where did your interest in that begin?
I've always had one. I think some of my earliest memories have been like visiting natural history museums when I was younger, and I was always fascinated with the specimens in the museum collection, and that's something that's kind of continued to be an interest that is always I've gravitated towards, and it's something that I decided to dedicate a lot of my practice towards doing and exploring. And likewise, observation has always been something that I've really focused on in my work. I've always been kind of obsessed with drawing or painting from observation, from what I see, and I think what I do now in my practice, I kind of create and merge those two things together. So,
yeah, you do it quite beautifully as well.
Thank
I love
you.
your work. And so your work does have, like you said, the idea of death in
yes,
it.
yeah.
So how does the dead animal, I mean you're painting generally like with the toads,
Yes.
from life.
Mm-hmm.
How does that, what does that mean for you with using realism in your work at the same time?
Yeah, well, these images and the images that I do throughout my practice, they are specific in their depth and their context, and I feel that they often communicate, a narrative in, its history of how it's reposefully died or in this case been squashed, and that's something that I want to communicate faithfully to the physical object and the animal in order to communicate that idea and engage with that dialogue.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Michelle, for sharing a little bit about your work.
Thank you.
Your time with us.
It's good.
Yeah.
I kind of jotted down notes so I didn't forget anything. It was okay. I covered most of it. Except I forgot one thing, but it was that's okay.
Okay.
It makes sense.
Something.
Exactly. It was good. You did a fantastic job.
So I realized I skipped over this bit because you had talked
That
a bit
is
about
really
how
fun.
you kind of talked about it.
Yeah, no,
So
that's
it's like-
perfect.
Because I watched some of them on YouTube too, and I was like, I don't know, not everyone has the longest connections can,
Yeah.
So it's like, I better use.
Yeah, exactly. Brief.
Yeah. Those were good questions. I probably want to put that aside. Do something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder, so there's going to be artists here in October, so you'll have someone else. You're probably going to hear from me.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. And then I think there'll be a new artist probably for you, or maybe I'll interview you yourself.
I don't know.